What if I told you the biggest controversy from Kevin Hart's Netflix roast wasn't a joke that made the final cut? It was the jokes that never made it onto your screen. Because according to comments that have now gone viral online, questions are being raised about whether certain jokes were removed from the special while others stayed in. And now Stephen A., Smith, D.L. Hughley, Kevin Hart, and even Katt Williams are all being dragged back into the same conversation. The internet is asking one question: if some jokes were cut, who made that decision and why? And depending on who you ask, the answer could completely change how people view Kevin Hart's role in the entire Netflix roast controversy. Let's break it all down. 8. So, before we even get into this, I need you to understand something real quick. Kevin Hart built his entire brand on one thing: being the guy everybody loves, the funny one, the safe one, the one who ain't got no enemies, the one who stays out of drama, the one who shows up, makes you laugh, collects his check, and keeps it moving. That was the brand. That was the image. That was the whole play. And for years it worked. Nobody could touch Kevin Hart. You criticize him, you look like a hater. You come for him, you look like you just mad because he's winning. He had the perfect shield. But here's the thing about shields: they only work until somebody finds the crack. And Stephen A., Smith of all people, just found the crack. And he didn't just find it. He walked through it, turned on all the lights, and showed everybody exactly what was hiding behind that image. What Stephen A. Smith just revealed about Kevin Hart, and that Netflix roast is not just tea, it's not just drama. It's documented proof that Kevin Hart looked the black community dead in the face and lied. Stay with me, because this one goes deep. Okay, so if you don't know the backstory, here's the quick version. Netflix did a roast.
Now, this piece of information ties in with Kevin Hart Breakfast Club interview.
My rebuttal is simplicity. Remove me from it, I didn't say it. If you are upset that the night went on, that's a different conversation. It's nothing I can do. It's a production. It's a live production.
They also said that you saw the jokes beforehand, so you agreed.
Why am I reading jokes beforehand?
I don't
You
so
the boss.
I can
That's
not
what people
laugh,
think.
so I can be in the chair.
You're in charge.
Yeah, you in charge, so people think that everything falls back on you.
You're never guarding, like you're not acting as a know all and do all at the top. Comedians, I need to see everything y'all doing before y'all. That's not what comics do. No comics operate like that. So from Pete to Naeem to Big J to Cheryl to Chelsea, Jeff Ross.
Kevin Hart's response to people saying, hey man, why did you allow these people to make the tasteless George Floyd joke?
And Kevin Hart had an answer ready. He went on Breakfast Club and basically said, look, it was a live production. I didn't see the jokes beforehand. Once it happened, it happened. There was nothing I could do. Now here's the thing. In the moment, some people bought that because it sounds reasonable, right? Live TV is chaotic. Things happen fast. You can't control everything. But here's where it starts to fall apart. Kevin Hart wasn't just a guest at this roast. He wasn't just sitting in the chair. Kevin Hart was the executive producer of this special. That's not an honorary title. That's not just something they put in the credits to make him feel special. Executive producer means you have creative control. Executive producer means you have final approval. Executive producer means...
Because Stephen A. Smith will drop an absolute bomb on Kevin Hart. Stephen A. Smith will drop a bomb where he says, no, Kevin Hart had all the power. Like, Kevin Hart, right, approved for 18 jokes to be removed from the Netflix comedy special. So Kevin Hart approved that 18 jokes get removed, but Kevin Hart did nothing about George Floyd being disrespected, and then came on the Breakfast Club and disrespected us in our faces by telling us there's nothing he could have done.
For me, my thinking stopped at the 18 removed jokes.
Let that sit for a second. Kevin Hart, as executive producer, personally approved the removal of 18 jokes from that Netflix special. 18 jokes. He had a list. Somebody brought him jokes. He looked at them and he said, yeah, these 18 are coming out. These don't make the cut. So the man who told Breakfast Club, I didn't see the jokes beforehand and there was nothing I could do, that same man was sitting somewhere with a list of jokes in front of him, going through them one by one, deciding what stays and what goes. You see the problem here? You can't tell me you had no power and no control while simultaneously exercising power and control over 18 different jokes. That's not a mistake. That's not a misunderstanding. That is a deliberate lie told to the black community on a nationally syndicated radio show.
And if Kevin Hart, as the executive producer, had the power to edit stuff out, which he did, and you left those jokes in, but you took out the Melania Trump joke, we got a problem. I don't know whether that's true or not. I'm taking D.L. Hughley at his word because I didn't watch the whole episode. But I'm taking D.L. Hughley at his word, and he would know. This is his lane. Being a comedian, being a star comedian for many years, knowing the industry and what comes with it, knowing the particulars that what comes with it, I'm going to trust him on this one. The fact of the matter is, if you left that stuff in about George Floyd, left that stuff in about Cheryl Underwood's husband, left that stuff in about slavery and what have you, but you took out Melania Trump.
Now, here's where it goes from bad to worse. Because it's not just that Kevin Hart removed jokes, it's which jokes he removed. According to D.L. Hughley and Stephen A., Smith said he's taking D.L. at his word on this because this is D.L.'s lane. This is the comedy industry. This is what D.L. knows. The Melania Trump jokes got pulled. The jokes about Trump's wife, gone, removed. Didn't make the final cut. But the George Floyd jokes, still in there. The slavery jokes, still in there. The jokes about Cheryl Underwood's husband who took his own life, still in there. So let's be very clear about what happened here. Kevin Hart had a list. He went through that list. And when he got to the jokes that might upset Donald Trump, those came out. When he got...
Quote, my Mount Rushmore of racism when it comes to hating black people is Shane Gillis, Kid Rock, Hulk Hogan, Stephen A. Smith. Those are my 4 people when it comes to hating black people. Or at least I thought I had a pretty good relationship with Kevin Hart. It's been on my show on many occasions. I've known him for years. I don't know. I've taken a lot of heat because of perceived positions that I may have had. And as a result, you've had some people from the Democratic Party who don't know that I'm aware of the steps and the links that they've been willing to go through.
This is the same Stephen A. Smith who has been running PR for J.D. Vance. The same Stephen A. Smith who said on camera looking dead into a lens that if he had to vote today, he'd vote for Marco Rubio for president. Marco Rubio. The same Stephen A. Smith who claims he's a Democrat while doing everything in his power to help the other side. The same Stephen A. Smith who has spent years taking positions that hurt black people and then acts shocked when black people don't want to rock with him anymore. So when Kevin Hart called him out at that roast, when Kevin Hart put Stephen A. Smith on his personal Mount Rushmore of people who hate black people, part of me wants to say, Kevin Hart wasn't entirely wrong. But here's the twist. Stephen A. Smith being a hypocrite doesn't make what he exposed about Kevin Hart any less true. You understand what I'm saying? 2 things can be real at the same time. Stephen A. Smith can be a sellout, and he can have just exposed another sellout. The information is still the information regardless of who's delivering it. And the information here is damning. Let's zoom out for a second. Because this isn't really about
over the slavery jokes.
Katt Williams might tell us a joke, but he will never tell us a lie. Go back and hear what he had to say about Kevin Hart, and you tell me if what Katt Williams had to say about Kevin Hart during that Shannon Sharpe interview, was that a lie? Do this situation not prove it? Do this situation not prove what Kevin Hart is willing to do?
Now, if you watched that Shannon Sharpe interview a while back, you already know where this is going. Katt Williams sat down and told us, word for word. He looked at Shannon Sharpe, and he broke down exactly what Kevin Hart is, what Kevin Hart does, and who Kevin Hart serves. And at the time, a lot of people wanted to dismiss it. Oh, that's just Katt being Katt. He's just bitter. He's just jealous of Kevin's success. But here's what's crazy. Everything Katt Williams said about Kevin Hart, this situation just proved it. Katt said Kevin Hart diminishes himself to stay in proximity to power. Katt said Kevin Hart will sacrifice his own community to keep his access. Katt said Kevin Hart's loyalty was never to us, it was to whoever was writing the biggest check. And now we have 18 removed jokes, including Melania Trump as Exhibit A. At the end of the day, this story has become much bigger than a comedy roast. For some people, it's about accountability. For others, it's about creative decisions being turned into internet conspiracy theories. Kevin Hart supporters argue that people are reading way too much into a comedy special. His critics believe the latest revelations raise questions that still haven't been fully answered. Either way, one thing is clear. Months later, people are still talking about this roast. They're still debating Kevin Hart. They're still debating Katt Williams. And now Stephen A. Smith has added even more fuel to a conversation that refuses to die. So now I want to hear from you. Do you think people are overreacting to a comedy roast? Or do you think Kevin Hart owes fans a clearer explanation about what happened behind the scenes? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest celebrity drama, industry controversies, and viral entertainment stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.